Today, I want to talk about a new project called COTI, which stands for Currency of the Internet. It's a fascinating project. It's a crypto for payments built on a system that can process over 10,000 transactions per second, but it's also a lot more than that. And I want to start with the problem that exists, which is that we hear about all of these new blockchain projects, we hear about ICOs, we hear about cryptocurrencies. But the problem is that blockchain is often not going to be used for transactions because of both low volume and speed and sometimes high fees. And some of the existing blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum struggle with some of these issues and very quickly are going to sort of run up against their maximum capacity and have sort of a bandwidth problem. And there are new blockchains that are trying to tackle this, but many haven't really had major success from an engagement perspective. Even some of the new projects that seem to have fixed the technology issue or the capacity issue, they are just not garnering the level of engagement that will be necessary sort of to achieve that critical mass. In traditional payments, you also have issues with cancellations and chargebacks merely because of lack of trust between the parties. Like, for example, you don't know a random Amazon merchant that you buy stuff from, and it ends up leading to significant problems. So the problem here is a very clear one. Now, anybody who's going to try to create a solution in this space, as usual, the number of industry competitors is going to be a challenge for COTI. COTI wants to be the currency of the internet. There are other projects using similar technology. And there is really going to be a need for a significant level of market penetration and engagement if one currency really is going to become the currency of the internet. So COTI would conceivably solve these challenges by using base layer protocol in the form of a directed acyclic graph-based ledger that's built from transactions connected through time by harnessing trust-based algorithms. That's a lot of stuff, but the basic idea is that trust should be based on a combination of historical behavioral data and objective information that relates to both buyers and merchants. And COTI takes this into consideration. They calculate a trust score using a unique machine learning algorithm. And COTI is actually building out a new blockchain using DAG technology for speed. Technically, it's not so much a blockchain as it is a cluster, which other people are sort of trying to do. You can maybe think of IOTA in that sense. And they also want to use a new consensus system based on trust to build over time from users on the network, right? And the idea is that machine learning will be able to automate a lot of these processes. New things that COTI is potentially introducing. Number one is DSP nodes to prevent double spending, literally called double spend prevention, which is an issue to some degree in the blockchain world. They also use a mediation service for issues that occur, claiming to have game theory involved in the algorithms so that it's done fairly and efficiently. How are fees earned? This is a major question with a system like this. All fees are collected by the full nodes, which are decentralized servers run by general users in the COTI network, and the COTI network gets a portion of those fees collected by the full nodes, and those fees are then used to support the infrastructure technology, such as that double spend protection that I mentioned. Each node charges a fee that's in part determined by the node itself. Some nodes could set a higher fee if they believe they're providing a better service. Other nodes could charge less or even nothing if their focus is on transaction throughput, for example. And the price charged by the nodes need to be equitable, publicly available, and compliant with the network rules. That's sort of the infrastructure that's been created. And those network rules will define a ceiling for the fees, but there's going to be no minimum fee. So the fee could conceivably be zero. Stakeholders in the network. Well, you've got the nodes themselves, right? Users of the system that validate transaction by running nodes. And there are full nodes, DSP nodes, and history nodes. History nodes keep earlier parts of the cluster after the cluster stamp process is complete, and they also have the entire cluster history. You'll have user accounts, people who make official wallets on the platform, and they get a public and a private key to access their funds. And then you'll have the servers themselves. These will basically be COTI owned and operated. And this is a part that is centralized. COTI is going to run servers that perform some of the important tasks for the network. And the 4 different categories of servers will be zero spend, trust score, KYC, AML, and history servers. Governance of the network. In order to provide a decentralized ecosystem for online payments, COTI is exploring various alternatives to allow for decentralized governance. And this governance structure will be responsible for making decisions that affect the base protocol, as well as the future use of COTI's tokens and as investments that will be made. And the body will not only vote on these matters, but they're also going to be responsible for actually executing the changes. And they're looking at a governance model called futarchy. Token allocation, you can see here. Also, the stages of the ICO. And the token mechanics are pretty interesting. Token sale pricing and mechanics will basically tie the token price to 0.1 US dollars per COTI. That's about 10 cents. The token sale is going to consist of the private and the public sale, and the tokens available in the private sale are going to be capped. All of the token sale contributors are going to be awarded additional discounts based on a number of different factors that are outlined in the white paper. And there's also more information about timelines, discounts, and KYC procedures, restricted countries, and payment methods available in the white paper. ERC20 tokens will be issued for the purpose of providing an official record of tokens sold. The ERC20 tokens will be issued post-listing on at least one major exchange no later than September of 2018. And to further fund the development of the network, COTI may occasionally initiate additional supplements, token sales, out of that reserve. So all in all, an ambitious project, but one with some innovative technology. They already have a simulation of their trust chain algorithm on their website, which you can check out. They're already working with partners in the industry like processing.com, Bancor, and Bitfinex. More than 3,000 merchants and 50,000 users have already signed up for their early alpha release this August. And on May 21st, COTI will open a very special limited community pre-sale, which they say is an appreciation of support from their community. Very interesting project. You can use the links in the video description to find out more. None of this should be constituted as investment advice, and I encourage everybody to do their own research before making any financial decisions.